Welcome to the latest update from Wescott Market and Economic Outlook series. In today's update, we're going to give an update on the vaccine in the hopes that that's bringing to the market and to the rest of us, to be very honest, to get back to a normal life. So as usual, we're going to talk through an agenda. First, what's going on in the market. We're going to take a look at the market as through November 19th. And then a little bit of the news, the good news that we received recently about the vaccine and the implications that that might have, not only on the market, but on the leadership within that market. And then finally, a quick update to our current outlook. How does this new news and updated information change what we expect going forward? So that's the agenda. As usual, we'll start with the market update. And the first thing we want to do is highlight that first, it's been a very eventful couple of weeks in the US. The markets have reacted positively, in our view, to the fact that a lot of the US election uncertainty has passed. We're aware that there's still some uncertainty out there with respect to the Senate, its makeup, and of course the ongoing challenges in certain states. However, stock markets continued to rally throughout the election week and in a couple weeks after that. But more specifically, and I think more importantly, the stock market is looking at the pandemic news. And that's mixed, but stocks did rally to record levels on the encouraging news that both Pfizer and Moderna have come to the market with some great announcements, which indicated that their vaccines are highly effective and could actually be approved for use as early 2021. And that's a very positive sign. And that comes despite the fact that COVID-19 is entering its latest wave in Europe and the US. And in fact, the global cases are reaching record highs. So as usual, there's a lot of cross currents in the market, uncertainties while we're hitting new highs on the coronavirus itself and the new cases. The vaccine is promising and providing investors who look beyond today and tomorrow and into the future some hope that we'll get back to more normal. So we'd like to look at really how the market has behaved as a result of these updated information. So first, let's look at the market update again through November 20th. What we're seeing, first and foremost, after leading the markets higher during the earlier part of 2020, growth stock performance, which is seen here in the blue line, a very strong performance through most of 2020. In fact, didn't fall as much as other parts of the market in March and April, has started to moderate since September. It's not gone down. It just isn't leading the market higher. It's not the only thing working in the market. And as we anticipated, with the positive news on the vaccine front, economically sensitive value stocks, and in fact, Wescott value managers who focus in on this segment of the market, began to recover some lost ground on hopes that the vaccine will allow a return to normal life in 2021. So what we're seeing here is the yellow line and the orange line beginning to move higher and catch up, if you will, close the gap between the market leading growth. While they're still below zero and under performing, if you will, for most of this year, there has been a very marked improvement really since September, October, and particularly in November. However, with daily confirmed cases rising again and targeted lockdowns likely across the US, this could delay reopening and could impact some of these trends. So we want to be sure to be balanced across these investment styles and strategies, but we are encouraged with the behavior of the portfolio as expected, given the news of the vaccine and its potential distribution. So how does this affect our current outlook? So we've talked a lot about this, the pandemic trade, which is really characterized by the fact that 2020 was filled with uncertainty and investors flock to safety and quality investments, large companies doing well in this environment. Safe and high quality bonds were also characteristics of this pandemic trade. And shortly after the announcement, or in anticipation of an announcement of a vaccine, we saw the market begin to shift over to what we're calling a recovery trade. And that is, as we hope to return to normal, the broadening out of the market and investors focusing on companies and sectors that have been forgotten this year, but show significant value for future investment. And so really that's the theme of our strategy today and our outlook going forward, is that while another wave of the virus cases has begun in the US and around the world, we continue to see a slow but uneven recovery. And that's been our thesis throughout this year. The potential for the safe and effective vaccine, as we talked about, we think will lead to a shift in market leadership, because the prospects for many industries that were under pressure during the pandemic will improve almost immediately. And we want to make sure we're positioned for that improvement. So that's why our portfolio strategy continues to emphasize the effective and opportunistic diversification across US and non-US markets, across value and growth investing styles, and managers taking advantage of the opportunities they see today, albeit supported by valuations and sound fundamentals. So with that, we want to thank you again for joining us. Thank you for your continued trust in Wescott. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me or your advisor if you have any questions. And we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving.